First up, we have geography. The Grand Coulee Dam has a lot of geographical features, such as how it is an ancient riverbed in the U.S. state of Washington. The dam stretches for about 60 miles southwest from Grand Coulee Dam to Soap Lake. It is divided by dry falls into the upper and lower Grand Coulee. Grand Coulee is the largest dam in the Columbia River Basin and one of the largest in the world. It is 550 feet tall, measured from its foundation in solid granite, or 350 feet from the downstream river surface to the top of the dam. The name Grand Coulee actually refers to a unique geological feature created thousands of years ago when Ice Age glaciers blocked the ancient riverbed of the Columbia River. When water eventually traveled under the ice dam, great floods washed out hundreds of miles of deep coulees in the Columbia River Basin. One of these, the Grand Coulee, is 4 miles wide and bordered on 3 sides by steep cliffs. Before we keep going, here are some fun facts that I thought were pretty cool. The base of the Grand Coulee Dam is almost 4 times as large as the base of the Great Pyramid of Giza. If all of the pipes used to cool the cement were laid end to end, they would stretch from New York City to the Grand Canyon. There is enough concrete in the Grand Coulee Dam to build a highway across the United States. Now back to what we were doing. I'm going to talk about the economy of the Grand Coulee Dam. Since I couldn't find a lot of economic facts, here are some I have. The recommendation found traction with the 1932 election of Franklin D. Roosevelt, who took office in a time of great dust bowls and economic depression. Roosevelt launched a federal program in an attempt to spur the economy by priming the pump and providing jobs for out-of-work Americans. Culture. The Grand Coulee Dam had a lot of cultural history, such as several tribes such as Sampoil, Nespelem, Colville, Lakes, and Spokane living in the areas now occupied by Grand Coulee Dam and Lake Roosevelt have called this place home for over 11,000 years. For these tribes and others that lived along the Columbia River, salmon was the primary source of food and the basis for trade. Kettle Falls, located 100 miles north of Grand Coulee Dam's current location, was the second largest salmon fishery on the Columbia River. In the late 1700s, European and American fur traders visited the northwest coast and joined in the regional trading system that Native Americans had established thousands of years before. The construction of Grand Coulee Dam drastically changed the salmon culture of the native people. It blocked spawning salmon from returning to the upper Columbia River. Rising waters behind the dams submerged landforms like Kettle Falls. Of course, I know that there are many more facts about the culture of Grand Coulee Dam, but let's move on to environment. The dam had severe negative consequences for the local Native American tribes, whose way of life revolved around salmon and the original shrub steppe habitat of the area. Because it lacks a fish ladder, which revolved in environmental and social consequences, Grand Coulee Dam permanently blocks fish migration, removing over 1,100 miles of natural spawning habitat by largely eliminating anadromous fish above the Okanagan River. The Grand Coulee Dam set the stage for the subsequent decision not to provide for fish passage at Chief Joseph Dam, built in 1953. The free-flowing headwaters of the Columbia River are located in the Canadian Rockies, where snow melt and spring water fill Columbia Lake near British Columbia's border with Alberta.